are you ready for your Monday motivation? I have got a good news roundup for you on election-related news, and there is so much. First of all, voter registration is continuing to break records, particularly among young voters. It is unprecedented and very exciting. Keep up the good work, you guys. Kamala Harris's rally over the weekend in Wisconsin had over 10,000 exuberant, very excited people at it. Yes, those rallies are still popping. More excitingly still, that is still translating into volunteers. We have tens of thousands of people every day knocking doors and making phone calls for the Kamala Harris campaign, and other organizations are also seeing huge upturns in volunteers. Grassroots Democrats had 500 people on a phone bank this weekend. What? Meanwhile, by all reports, the Trump campaign has no ground game. Like none. There is nobody knocking doors for Donald Trump because they've just fumbled and screwed up the entire campaign. Yay! Oh, and Kamala Harris has opened up a 5-point lead nationally in the polls, which we shouldn't care about, but still, it's kind of nice. And in fact, a new NBC News poll finds that Kamala Harris's favorability has increased 16 points since July. That is the largest increase for any politician in NBC News polling history since George W. Bush right after 9/11. Trump's favorability, by the way, is net negative by double digits, because of course it is. DCCC has now raised more than $250 million this cycle. We are leaving Republicans in the dust in this regard. We are wildly outraising Republicans, as well we should be. Speaking of campaign funding, Kamala Harris's campaign spent nearly 3 times as much as Trump's campaign did in the month of August, but it raised so much money that she still grew her cash advantage over Trump. Ooh, that must burn him. Just this weekend, a bipartisan group of more than 700 national security leaders and former military officers endorsed Kamala Harris, as did Nikki Haley's Iowa campaign co-chair, and 3 former chairs of the main Republican Party. But there's more. For the first time ever, we have a poll showing Colin Allred beating Ted Cruz in Texas. It's only one poll, but the trends are moving in that direction. Texas, you can do this. I believe in you. We learned this week that national Democrats are spending in Florida, which means they think that the Florida Senate race is at least competitive. That is very exciting as well. And both Missouri's Senate race and Nebraska's Senate race are at least in play at this moment. Like, wildly actually possible. Oh, and speaking of Nebraska, just as of this morning, we are hearing that one of the key votes, a Republican state senator that Republicans needed to vote yes in order to pull off their little scheme to change the way electoral college votes were counted in that state at the very last minute, he's a no on that, and it looks like this may be the end of their little nasty scheme. Good. And also, as of September 17th, Montana's largest youth organizing group, they are called Forward Montana. They have registered over 6,700 mostly young voters in Montana. Do you realize that that is a margin of error in a tight Senate race? Thank you guys. Hats off. There's more. The Arizona Supreme Court ruled that about 98,000 voters in Arizona whose registration status was in limbo will be able to vote the full ballot in November. Victory in court. And here's something great that could really matter. In Arizona, Maricopa County approved a record 236 voting centers for November. That's an increase of 35% over past elections. That's because we have a Democratic Secretary of State. That's because people voted up and down the ballot, and it is going to matter. Another important court victory, a North Carolina judge rejected the RNC's request to prohibit University of North Carolina Chapel Hill students from using their state-approved digital university IDs to vote. That means you can use those IDs, and now you must vote. Because we can and will win in North Carolina. Finally, I was on the Unite for Springfield call. Red, Wine, and Blue had it yesterday. There were thousands of us on the call. We raised $100,000 and counting for the Springfield Haitian Community Center and also the Springfield City School District, to show them that there are more decent and loving people in this country than there are people filled with hate. That is the same reason we are going to win in November, because we are going to show our love through our work, and we are going to turn people out, and we are going to show the world that there is more love than hate in this country. So let's keep doing it. We're winning. Let's go. Keep doing the work.